Starting on Chapter 8, Language of Data Notes. So the cases are what we collect information about. All right. Or who we collect the information from. What we collect the information about, or who we collect the information from. The cases are also called individuals or cases. No, not cases. Individuals or subjects. My royal subjects. No. So in a survey, like the survey that several of you took yesterday, the cases are the people. The cases are the people. Okay? So I could have called each of you a case when you took that survey yesterday. Good morning. We're in for a lot of writing today. Okay? And secondly, maybe a different asterisk, in quality control, like in manufacturing, in quality control, the cases are the products, whatever is being manufactured or put together. So in a survey, the cases are the individuals, and in quality control, the case are the products that we are going through. Cases. Okay. All right. Next up, variables. Variables is, the variable is each piece of recorded information, about a case. So that means you could be talking about the individual, if you're talking about a survey, or you could be talking about the product. So the variables, what are the different things? Are we talking about hair color? Are we talking about height? Are we talking about the length of your index finger? Those are all different variables. And another way to state it is what we are finding out about each case. Okay? If you're talking about a product, the different variables would be maybe the height, the weight, the density of the product. Yes. What we are finding out about each case. Oh, in a survey, that's an asterisk, that first thing. In a survey, the cases are people. So when you guys took the survey yesterday, each of you was a case. Okay? And then all the different variables are the different ways that you answered those questions. How old you are, female, male, I don't know, what your favorite drink was that in there? How many emails you or texts you received or got in a day. All of those were the variables. Okay? And then we have different kinds of variables. We have categorical and quantitative. So categorical is let's see. Let's do red, green. Categorical data, we'll say, is what divides your cases, especially the individual cases, into groups. The categorical data is what divides your cases, specifically individuals, into groups. For example, do you know EG is example? Capital EG, I think it's Latin. Yes. Individual, IND. So the different groups would be maybe your eye color, could be your favorite superpower. Okay, maybe whether you are left or right-handed. Left or right-handed. Okay, so it divides you into different groups. I'm sorry, I am right in your way, aren't I? And then quantitative data or data. Do you say data or data? What do you say? Data? Anybody say data? Maybe mama, data? That was a good one. I just came up with that. Can you tell? Yes, we can. All right, quantitative data is going to be a variable that you can measure. Variable that you can measure. Okay? And it records a number. Records a number. All right, so e.g., for example, the number of followers you have. That would be quantitative because you would answer it with a number. The number of siblings you have. And possibly your height, your weight, the length of your index finger, your left foot. Yes?
What that says, like after variable,
variable that you can measure.
And you want on top of the, right besides quantitative
data. Categorical data, quantitative data. Probably should be variable, but I said data. I think you're more familiar with data. Okay. So just a quick review. Cases are the information that we collect, and who we collect that information from could be called the individuals or subjects if you're talking about people. If you're talking about quality control, the different cases are the products that come through. Maybe you're a bottling manufacturer. So the different cases would be, like the Tide bottle versus the Gain bottle. Variables, each piece of recorded information about a case, which remember is an individual or product, and what we are finding out about each case. Categorical variables, categorical data, divides your cases into different groups. Eye color, favorite superpower, left or right-handed, and quantitative. So the quantitative, the N in quantitative, I don't know if this might work for you, is a number. So that is number data, quantitative. Okay? Any questions on those? All right, so the next part, these are all sort of related together: population, sample, parameter, and statistic. So the population is the entire, and I am putting entire in all caps, the entire group you want to know about. The entire group you want to know about. Okay. For example, we could be talking about all U.S. citizens. We could be talking about the world population. We could talk about registered voters. Okay, so it is the big group. And oftentimes you do not get to survey the entire big group. And that's when you go to a sample. So a sample is the small, and all caps on small, the small group from the population. The small group from the population that is selected for research / study. Because it's pretty hard to talk to everybody in the world. Yeah. So you're going to take a sample to be representative of that entire population. Okay. Asterisk here. Special care. Special care must be taken. Special care must be taken that the sample is representative. Yes. That is, yes, that is an S. I was like, kind of looks like a D. Delected, selected. The special care must be taken that the sample is representative. So it has to be using people from the actual population that would be actual parts of that population. Okay? So population, you're not going to be able to talk to everybody. Sample from the population, yes, we can do a survey on them. Then we have parameter. Parameter, that is going to be the data or analogies. I just said data. Maybe it just depends. Data or, analysis. I said analogies. Data or analysis of data collected. From the whole population. From the whole population. Data or analysis of data collected from the whole population. I'm going to put down here, could be a guess, because you're not really talking to the people. You can't talk to the entire population. Could be a guess. Don't love that though. And the last one on this page, statistic, is data analysis of the data collected only, and that's all caps on only from the sample. Only from the sample. And this would be in parentheses what we know to be true, because we can actually talk to these people and manage the amount within the sample, comma, not what we think, what we know to be true. So have you ever heard of the comparisons like on the SAT test? So it would be like population is to parameter as sample is to statistic. Or statistic is to the sample as parameter is to the population. Okay? So population, the entire group, you can't talk to all of them, so you talk to the sample. The parameter is the analysis of the population, which we can't really manage, so we do our best to think what it might be, but the statistic is the actual analysis of the sample. Okay? Questions on that? All right. Measures of center. Has anybody ever heard that term? Measures of center. Anybody? Maybe? We have 3 measures of center. There are different ways that you can measure the center of a group of objects. Okay? First up is the mean. The mean is, what's a one-word definition of the mean? Average, yes, the average. And how do you find the average? You have to add all the entries together. Add all the entries, and then you divide by the number of entries. So if I did an average of all of your test scores, I would add up all the test scores, get a total, and then divide by the number of people who took the test. That would be the average. Okay? You're probably most familiar with that of these 3. The second measure of center that we can use is called the median. M-E-D-I-A-N. Does anybody know what the median represents? The middle, yes. So this is the middle number. Okay, the middle number. And to get that middle number, this is very, very important. You have to put the numbers in order from least to greatest. From least to greatest. And then you find the center. Okay? So these are 3 different methods for finding the center. You could take the mean or the average, add them all up, divide by how many numbers you have. You could take the median, where you start from smallest number to largest number, and then count and find the center. And if you have an even number, there's a way we deal with that too. You just take the average of the middle 2 numbers. We'll get to that later. And lastly, we also have what's called the mode. Does anybody know what the mode is? The mode is the most often occurring. So the mode occurs the most often occurring. Put entries in order and find the one that occurs the most. So put your entries in order again and find the one that occurs the most. So mean is the average. Median. Think of median has a D in it. So does middle. Has two D's. Median is in the middle. Mode occurs the most. So use those little tips if you want, or come up with your own, or just memorize it. Okay? But you have to know what each of those means. All right, measures of spread. First up, we have the range. Now, this is different from the range when you're talking about domain and range, although that's another thing in math. The range is the difference between your largest number and your smallest number. So if I say, what's the range of 9 and 13? Okay, you would say 13 minus 9 is equal to 4. That is the range. I don't want you to put 9 to 13. It's the difference, the answer. Okay? All right. We also have quartiles. Quartiles. What do you think quartiles might be? Quartiles. It's kind of like quarters. It's going to divide your data, I keep saying data, into four equal parts, and you have to make sure that there is 25% in each quartile. So the quartiles are going to divide your data into 4 equal parts, and you have to make sure there's 25% of the data in each quartile. Okay? That's quartiles. That's the meaning. Running out of space. Okay, we're doing all right time-wise. Variance. So we have variance. V-A-R-I-A-N-C-E. Variance. And we have standard deviation. Standard deviation. So these two things describe, yes, I can spell, they describe how spread out the data is to the mean. How spread out the data is to the mean. Variance and standard deviation. Okay. And the last one in this same section, hopefully you've got some room. If not, maybe go on the side, is interquartile range. Interquartile range. And that is how spread out, or how spread the middle 50% is. It's how spread the middle 50% is. Mr. Sanders, I don't think that phone's helping you. Huh? Okay. But you could put that away. It's distracting. All right, so range, the difference between the largest number and the smallest number, it's actually in individual number. Quartiles divide your data into 4 equal parts. So if we had Fat Albert join us and we had to put all of our weights, we'd have to have the same number of people in each category. It doesn't matter that Fat Albert's really, really, really big, okay? We would have to have, if there was 12 of us, we would have, well, let's say 16 of us. We would have 4 in the bottom 25%. We would have 4 in the next 25%, 4 and 4. Okay? Same number of people. Doesn't matter that Fat Albert's 5 times bigger than everybody else. Doesn't matter. Same number of people. Okay? Variance standard deviation, how spread the data is from the mean, and interquartile range, how spread the middle 50% is. All right. Is this the last that we're doing today? It is. Good. One more section, the shape of data. We're not talking about healthy versus wimpy, but the actual shapes. So first up, we have symmetrical. Symmetrical means it is going to look the same on both sides. The same on both sides. So it's going to look like a nice, what they call bell curve. So the both sides of that dashed or dotted line look the same. Yes. Symmetrical, SYMMETRICAL. Symmetrical. Okay, and we also have uniform. And this one is kind of, I think it's a little bit more difficult to understand. All outcomes, try to leave some space underneath for the picture too. All outcomes are equally likely. Are equally likely. So that picture is going to look like a rectangle, because whatever it is you're talking about, they all are up here at the top. Okay? They're equally likely to happen. Next up, we have bimodal. B-I. What does bi, that prefix, mean? Two. So bimodal means you are going to have 2 modes. And remember, the modes are the pieces of data that occur the most. 2 modes or 2 bumps in your graph. 2 hills. Something like that. Doesn't have to be on the same side. Doesn't have to be necessarily on opposite sides. If you have something like this, that could be bimodal. Okay? Just 2 areas that have more data than any place else. And the last one is skewed. S-K-E-W-E-D. We got to draw 2 pictures here. First up is skewed to the left. If something is skewed to the left, that means it has a tail where there's not much data. We call this the tail. It kind of looks like a, I don't know, beaver or something. And the tail part This is the tail is on the left side. Okay? Whereas if you are skewed to the right, okay, then you've got this over here, but again, it's that tail that we're looking at. So the tail is on the right-hand side over here. So that's skewed left. It's always the tail, and then skewed right. Okay? Information overload. A lot of stuff. Again, I'm not looking for you to memorize word for word, but we have to have a working definition. You have to kind of know what these represent. Excuse me. All right. So, again, no rest for the weary. You can now start on Module 8, Homework 1. Independent practice for variables and cases. So, remember, cases are the people that you're talking about if you're talking about a survey, or if you're talking about quality control, the different products. Different products. All right? Okay. So, Stephanie, you're going to stay after tomorrow night, take the test. Don't forget, if you have not already, do and finish up that survey. We need to get with you too. What's the time? 54. Stephanie and is it Abdullah? Did I say that right? Why don't you come up here with me? Bring your red workbooks because we need to take some